his face needs to be everywhere, and we need to know what his agenda is. And all his friends must be told that they are basically running with the devil. This man's agenda is absolutely clear, and he has plans. And our duty, if we want to still have some kind of freedoms, is to stop Rob Herzog. His 2024 plan must be stopped. And the best way to stop it is, of course, to expose it. And then black people must unite their forces and articulate a revolutionary project which will put black people's interests first. That is the only way we can stop the Rob Herzog 2024 plan, which is in motion, as we know, as we can see. I mean, this man speaks very openly about it. As we have just seen, he's calling for Ramaphosa to go. He's calling for the ANC to go. And he is calling for the coalition of these political parties. He's named them already. He says the Democratic Alliance, the Action SA, the ACDP, the PA, UDM must all pull together to form a government. So there you are. Capital has a plan. Herzog has a plan and a vision for 2024. It is us, black people, who must now articulate our own plan to change this situation. How we do that? It is to firstly expose this Herzog 2024 plan and to remind people already what he has done, and to remind people about what he is saying. I mean, this guy is not mincing his words. He speaks openly about his 2024 plan of forming an anti-black government. Now, we know that he is very agitated about the fact that the government has not given him his private, landing strips or airports. He has targeted some small regional airports. And again, these airports, if we are not careful, can be used as points of crime where raw materials can be taken out of the country. Imagine, if he has an airport in Kimberley, he takes diamonds there, fly out to his friend's international airport at OR Tambo, they take our minerals out of the country. And since he's organizing an opposition, since he's organizing a counter-revolutionary force, even weapons can come through in this way. This is how they organize counter-revolutionary forces across the African continent. We don't have guns, we don't have bullets, but in all those conflicts, there's a lot of new guns, never-ending supply of bullets. How is this possible? This all coming from outside into the countries to perpetuate these conflicts, which make sure that free diamonds flow and other minerals are being taken out of those countries into the West. So we are dealing with a proper thug here who must be stopped by any means necessary. If we must also go look into his international dealings. How, for instance, he was found guilty, how he must made to pay those fines, and we must also check whether already in South Africa there are no criminal activities linked to this man, so that he is properly exposed and he is stopped on his tracks. If not, we are going to see a government directed by Rob Herzog, and this is a nightmare for black people. Rob Herzog has a clear agenda. And his agenda is to stop any radical transformation. He came into the political scene precisely because of radical economic transformation agenda, which was getting popularity. We know that he provided money to Cyril Ramaphosa to buy that ANC conference together with others. But his biggest advantage, I think, is that he is the organizing force and he is the thinking guy in terms of how capital wants to maintain its interest. And that is why we call him an activist capitalist. Unlike other capitalists who just provide the money and sit back, this man is very active in the political scene, in the rearrangement of the South African political reality of 2024. We know that he has already come out, he has already funded Musi Maimane, he has funded Herman Mashaba. We don't know if he's got any financial dealings with the Patriotic Alliance, but and also Nhlanhla Lux. But what we can say is that these formations are moving towards articulating a right-wing agenda, which is going to be based on serious attack on the immigrants and putting all the blames of this country on the immigrants, and therefore removing our focus on the real enemy, which is white monopoly capital. That is Robert Herzog's agenda, to turn our gaze away from the fundamental problem, which is white capital in this country, and to end up black people fighting amongst themselves. And then, of course, to reorganize the political situation where there is no single dominant black force, and all those small groups of black political parties will become under his control, and therefore Parliament will be directly controlled by Rob Herzog, and laws will be made, we believe, to make sure that white interests predominate. Some of the political parties will continue to speak black, but they're going to act white because of the influence that comes from Stellenbosch, directly from this man, Rob Herzog. Remember that name, Rob Herzog. He is the father of contemporary activism of capitalism into the political space. We are in real serious danger. We need to help ourselves and stop this man and destroy his plan through black unity based on a minimum program for the return of the land and the transformation of the economy and real empowerment of black people. Izolete. What is the nature of the South African Constitution, and who created the South African Constitution? We know that Cyril Ramaphosa and Rolf Meyer were spending time fishing, and when they fished, we are told that that is the time that they were drafting the Constitution of South Africa. 28 years after democracy, black people are still at the bottom of the South African society. And this constitution, which is praised by all, makes sure that it sustains the oppression and exclusion of black people. This constitution is designed, crafted to serve the interests of the settler minority. White people have a right to land. Already the land they stole from us is protected. Black people, on the other hand, have no right to land. So in South Africa, you can have Orania, a whites-only enclave, protected by the Constitution. But you can't have a blacks-only movement that fights for the liberation of black people who have been oppressed for so long. There is no other way to describe the South African Constitution other than is an anti-black constitution.
Hey guys, what is going on?